Hey everybody, Justin Senior here. This is actually kind of a unique situation. In between the time that I shot this video and went to release it, Facebook released some really interesting and important ad guideline changes. Basically, long story short, it's unclear if we can ask for social call to actions. What Facebook has definitely ruled out in posts is asking for or baiting engagement, right? Trying to get engagement by saying things like tag your friends or comment the word whatever to enter the contest or something like that, right? You're not allowed to do any type of comment baiting or engagement baiting anymore. What's unclear is we don't know if that applies to ads. We also don't know if that applies to, basically a lot of different scenarios where we're not sure. For example, running a promoted ad saying comment PDF to get a free PDF of, how to sell t-shirts or something like that. So there's definitely been some reports of ad accounts being shut down for asking for engagement. We don't know all the details because it wasn't my account, but to be safe on new ads, don't use the social call to action until there's some type of official clarification from Facebook. Everything else in the video you're going to watch, totally relevant. You should definitely put it into action. Basically, you're going to see a couple of the templates use the social call to action. Just leave that part out of your ads. Everything else, totally fine. So enjoy this video. This is all about ad templates. Hey everybody, Justin Senior here, and I've got a great video for you. And we're going to be talking all about Facebook ad copy. Okay, I'm going to define that in a second, and we're going to talk about the different components that make up your Facebook ads. And we're going to go into some examples and templates of Facebook ad copy that I'm using, my students are using, my stores are using to great success. And then we'll talk about split testing concerns, when you might want to play around with your ad copy and split test or not split test. We'll talk about all that. But first, let's define what Facebook ad copy is. And it's literally the actual Facebook ad, the content that makes up the Facebook ad, not the content on your website, but literally just the content of your Facebook ad, right? It's going to be the text, basically the marketing language, right? And not only the language, but also the imagery. But we're talking about ad copy here. So it's really about the sales copy or the sales text that's going to motivate, persuade, whatever, get the person, the potential customer, to click on the ad and interact with the ad and perform the action we want, whether it's a conversion or a lead or whatever, right? That's the definition. And really, in terms of components, right, there are three main components. You have your fan page, and that is a component because when you think about what you're seeing, when the customer sees your Facebook ad, whether it's in the news feed or the, in instant article, or, the same thing goes for Instagram, right? It's going to be your Instagram account. Your fan page is part of your ad copy. That's why you need to have a very niche specific fan page. You need to have a really strong image on your Facebook fan page profile image. So, that's what's going to be shown next to your ad in a news feed. Remember, a Facebook ad is simply just a status update. And we've all done thousands of status updates ourselves, right? It has our profile image, our name, right? That gets replaced in this case by our fan page name and our fan page image, okay? That's probably third most important on this list, okay? Next most important, I guess you could say these are a tie, product image or video. That's the ad image, right? Or the ad video, right? Facebook videos are super popular. In either case, you're going to need to have sales copy, right? And almost always you're going to want to have a defined call to action in your ad, like click here or get it now or buy it now. It sounds super simple, but it's super required. And in fact, in an ad type like website conversion photo post, there is no way to get to the website if you didn't literally include a call to action and the link to the website. And you'll see that in the templates that I'm going to show you later on in the video. So these are the three components of a Facebook ad copy, and really fan page that's going to be persistent across all of your ads. It's going to come down to your product image and video, or I should say one or the other. You're not going to have both, and then your sales copy. So let's talk about different examples, and this is going to be example number one, and this is definitely my favorite, my recommended ad copy. Okay, this is called affirmative question copy. And it's really the idea that we're going to ask a question that we already 1 billion % know the answer to, and the answer has to be yes. Okay, we're going to start with a leading question that you already know the definitive answer from the customer will be yes. Okay, and this should be pretty straightforward, right? I'll give you an example and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Let's say we're in the cat niche and we're selling a cat necklace. The first line of your ad, right? The first line of your ad copy should literally say, "Do you love cats?" Right? Now, if we're doing even the slightest bit of good Facebook ad targeting, and of course, since you're watching this video, you have access to all my ad targeting videos and my whole entire ad coaching stuff inside the bootcamp, you're going to be running good ads, which means if you're selling a cat necklace, you're certainly going to be showing it to cat lovers. And if your first line of your ad copy is this question, do you love cats? And our intent is to find an answer, yes. Well, we hit the nail on the head immediately, right? Do you love cats? Of course they do, right? We're only targeting people that love cats. Okay, how about another example? You're selling a t-shirt print on demand about tennis. And of course, you're selling it to people that love and play tennis. You say, okay, do you love tennis? Right? It's super straightforward. We need the answer to always be yes. Okay, and why do we want that? We want the customer to be affirmative in terms of their mindset. That's a positive connotation, meaning they're immediately nodding their head yes in agreement with us, right? We haven't even shown them or talked about the product, talked about selling anything. All they've seen so far is our niche-specific fan page, our fan page image. I'm sure at this point they've already seen the ad image because it's, just so big, or the ad video, but we're now getting them to immediately nod their head in agreement with us, and that puts us in a really, really great spot psychologically with them, right? We're on the same team as them in their head right now. They're like, okay, these guys like cats. I definitely like cats. I agree with them, right? Yeah, I do love cats. Okay, let me pay attention now and see what these guys are actually talking about. It's a much different mindset. You're getting them on your team. You're getting them to agree with you right off the bat, just with a simple question. And again, we already know every single time the answer is going to be yes. And we even take that a step further. We then affirm their response. Right? We literally go ahead and assure them that they're going down the right path. So we start like this. Do you love cats? Right? They're nodding their head yes. And we say, okay, you'll love this necklace. Do you love tennis? You'll love this t-shirt. Right? And you could change it doesn't have to be these exact words, but this is the point. Like a variation could be something like, do you love to play tennis? You'll absolutely love this t-shirt, or this will be your new favorite t-shirt, or this will be the best gift you'll ever give, or whatever, right? It's affirming their initial response. So psychologically now, they're thinking about us. First, they agreed with us, and now we're basically praising them for getting the answer right, and it's a question that we already knew what their answer would be. See the psychological kind of intent that we're going down the line here. So that is all happening in 2 sentences on the first line, okay? You're going to press enter and give a line space, so there's a line break in between. Then you're going to have your call to action, and this is totally required to get them to the site. Again, website conversion photo post, there's no clickable link, right? You have to include the link like you see it over here. Click here, colon, or click here, arrow, or click here without anything, and then just the link, right? It has to be your specific product, whatever you're advertising, obviously, okay? Then you do another line space, press enter, and then you do a social call to action, right? We're talking about Facebook or even Instagram ads. They're just simply social media posts on their specific network. So there's going to be social interactions involved. We want to try to pick up as much free organic interaction as we can. We don't pay for those. So we do something like this. Last line of the ad, it's going to say, don't forget to tag your friends who also love cats, who love cats too. Don't forget to tag other cat lovers. Don't forget to tag someone else who would love this product. Right, and this, as you see here, it's at the bottom. It says, this is my go-to ad copy. This is my favorite ad copy. This is what I've been using literally for years. And I certainly did not invent this at all. This is a total psychological sales trick in terms of getting them to agree with you right off the jump. So this is, again, the number 1 copy example here, but also my favorite one. So you can play around with this. It's going to work with almost any niche, any product. It doesn't have to be word for word like this in terms of do you love, but you get the idea. You want to affirm them. You want to make sure they're saying yes. You want to get them on your team. You want to get them agreeing with you on your side ASAP. Here's a full kind of fleshed out look, and you see the line breaks in between. The spacing is important so it looks nice on mobile. You're selling a cat necklace. Here's an example. Do you love cats? You'll love this necklace. And then you could also throw in emojis there. Don't be afraid to throw in emojis. They'll actually look much nicer on Facebook and especially on mobile, like those heart icons or the heart symbol here would actually turn into like a red heart on Facebook. It looks good, makes your ad stand out more. So definitely don't be scared to do that. You'll see that in the example on the next screen. Then you got our call to action, right? So let's just think about what the customer's seeing. Do you love cats? He or she is nodding her head, yes. Then we're saying, great job, you got the answer right. You're going to love this necklace, right? We get a little emojis in there. Now we got our call to action, right? And then we close off with our social call to action. So click here. Here's the link to the product. Tag your cat-loving friends too. Okay, here's a little example of an ad. This is actually a video ad, and this doesn't matter. It could be a video ad or a photo ad. You can use this copy for both, and this does it a little bit differently. I wouldn't include the thing where it says type love it, right? I don't really want people to be making any action on the page other than either basically something that's going to get more visibility in terms of tagging their friends, or of course, more importantly, clicking the link. So I would probably keep that out. But you see the emojis here, they make it look real nice, stands out, right? Not just a simple text status. You have nice line spacing, and all they have is a Christmas Chihuahua sweater. So it's a very basic ad, and they're just going to ask people who love Chihuahuas, do they love the Chihuahua Christmas sweater? And a lot of times you don't even need to be that specific, right? You could just say, do you love Chihuahuas? Because that's going to get a lot more people agreeing with you than people who may or may not like the sweater. Okay, but you get the point. Opening up with a loaded question, then you're going to have your call to action, right? In this case, this marketer decided to throw in a 20% discount here. It's a little unclear there. He didn't even put 20% off. Again, I just found this on fb-search.com. It's a great tool to go ahead and actually find live ad examples. And then you got the social call to action at the bottom of that. So let's go to ad copy example number 2. And this is a much different setup here. This is going to be all about heavy scarcity, heavy urgency, right? Basically the idea that we want to increase the propensity for a buyer to act on an impulse. And we're going to do that by increasing scarcity, urgency, and really creating an overall frenzy to buy ASAP. Right? Basically, I'll just define scarcity and urgency real quick. I'll actually give examples instead. Scarcity would be something like only 10 left in stock. Urgency would be like 3 hours left on this deal before the price doubles, right? Other kind of forms of scarcity and urgency is something like our most popular product, right? Not necessarily saying things are running out of stock directly, but indirectly saying a lot of people want it. You see a lot of things on Facebook ads, over 500 sold, right? This is the idea of adding social proof, which also creates both scarcity and urgency, right? It's like that idea of fear of missing out. Right? Oh, 500 other people bought it. Couple things here. 1, that builds trust. 2, it says the product is in demand. 3, it says you don't want to be left in the dust when everyone else has it and you don't. Okay, again, we're trying to increase the propensity for impulse buying. And if you haven't noticed yet, that's why Facebook works so well. It's all about impulse, right? People don't come on Facebook to buy print-on-demand T-shirts about cats, yet I've sold, literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands plus print-on-demand products there for people that had absolutely no intent to buy products. Right, they simply acted on their impulse. Right, so kind of playing up with that idea of heavy scarcity, heavy urgency, you're going to increase, like I said, the propensity, the probability that they will actually act on the impulse and go ahead and buy. And this really works a lot better when you have a product that doesn't need any explaining. Right, like with a T-shirt, you don't need to sell them on the idea of a T-shirt. They know what it's about. They just want to see the design in terms of the product. Right, everything else, you can kind of go with a psychological angle, and the example number 1 definitely plays on psychological tricks as well. It's just kind of a little bit less aggressive than this one. Right, this one is more of an aggressive sales copy. So the way it's going to look, you're going to immediately drive urgency, right? Like, instead of opening with a question, this is you're going to see on the next slide examples of different urgency or scarcity templates you could use. Then, of course, you always need to include your call to action, and in a lot of cases, there's still going to be room to include a social call to action as well. So I kind of see those last 2 points. I'm going to have those on every single ad. Obviously, you always need a call to action, and I think with any social ad, you're going to also want to have that social call to action. So let's take a look at some templates that you can use, and this is just for the first part of the ad. In the next screen, I'll show you what the whole ad looks like. But urgency scarcity templates that you could use. Pick and choose any of these, edit them, right? Change the numbers, change the time, etc. Right? You can create an infinite amount of combinations of these. But you have stuff like this: limited edition, not sold in stores. Right? And you could use emojis, you could use asterisks, whatever to get more attention. Right? Over 5,000 sold this year. Limited print run, less than 100 available. Only 25 left before they're gone for good. 24 hours left to get this, not sold in stores. Our most popular product of the year, or most popular product of the month, or most popular product of the week. You get the point, right? A time frame. Okay, restock alert, back in stock after selling out, right? Some of these are super aggressive urgency and scarcity things, right? And some of them are kind of a little bit more passive. For example, restock alert. Right, we're not saying they're going to run out tomorrow, but we are saying that they did run out in the past, so you're going to want to move a little bit quicker here. Right, and then you have other ones like only 25 left before they're gone for good. That's that's pure aggressive urgency and scarcity. So you can pick and choose, kind of see what works. But here's a nice example, a full example here. And I just took the first one that you see over here, limited edition, not sold in stores. Okay, you could easily replace that with 24 hours left to get this before it's gone. Okay, you could even combine the two. Limited edition, hyphen 24 hours left to get it. Test whatever you want. A lot of different scenarios exist here. No right and wrong answer until you actually test and see what your niche responds best to. Okay, so you got your urgency scarcity template on line 1. Of course, then you have your line space, then you have your call to action with the link, then you have your social call to action. And you see it's different than the one from example 1. Right, I said tag your cat-loving friends too. This says please tag someone else who would love this. It's the same idea, just using a little bit different words. And here's an example of a live product using this kind of template breakdown, right? And you see we got over here limited edition, not found in stores. Get yours here. So we got our scarcity, then we have our call to action, then you have a social call to action, and there's actually he or she has an interesting additional call to action saying order together and save on shipping. So that's pretty cool. All right, another nice thing that you might want to add in there to test, but you get the idea of this template. It's about driving urgency and scarcity right off the bat. So let's go to example number 3, and number 3 is called your own style, and I put that in quotes because I'm just kind of joking here. There's really no definition to what this means. I'm basically saying pick and choose from the 2 previous examples that you saw. See what other ads look like on a site like fb-search.com, or you could just basically do some good competitor research on Facebook ads. And basically you want to just go and test a lot of variations out. Right, and I'll kind of paint this picture, right? Maybe you want to open with a question and then go right into scarcity and then a call to action. That's just one example, right? This is kind of the idea where there's like all these different levers you can pull and you could just make crazy amounts of combinations for all of them. Okay, another example, open with a call to action, overload it with emojis, give a social call to action, right? And maybe example number 3, have a question and emojis and scarcity and even include something new, a customer testimonial, and then add a call to action, right? The list goes on. I mean, you could literally go on and on and on about this. Tons of different variations that you could do. It's really just about testing and finding what your niche responds best to. Okay, and I just want to close off this video with a quick note about split testing concerns. Okay, a big yes and a big no. Okay, yes, definitely split test different ad copy, but do it across different products, right? So when you're testing initial, let's say you're niche testing, you're going to do 8 to 12 products to test, right? Maybe use 2, 3, or 4 different variations of ad copy. Okay. What I don't want you to do is, definitely do not split test individual ad sets for the same product when starting, right? Basically, I'm saying don't have a product where you have an ad set. Let's say it's interest group about magazines, right? That's your targeting. I don't want you to have 5 different ad sets for 5 different ad copies. That's going to be too expensive. Sure, it would be great to get that much data, but we don't want to spend that much on testing. So you're going to test ad copy across different products. You're not going to be testing it across individual ad sets, notwithstanding best practices for split testing, I'm talking about how are we going to test for as cheap as possible. And that's what my whole volume game, $5 a day strategy that you've been really going through the entire boot camp with, it all leads up to that. Right. So again, you want to split test across different products. So let's say you're testing 8 products, try a couple different ad copies, but don't try different ad copies with the same product. Just going to be too expensive. But that's how ad copy works for your Facebook ads. Definitely try out a lot of different things. See what works, and don't be afraid to experiment. Right? There's really no written rule about what the best ad copy is. Again, the only thing that you care about is what is going to respond to your niche. So get out there, get testing, and I hope this makes you a lot of money.